iRacing is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all around the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics, engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 170,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsports organizations like NASCAR to deliver virtual races based on the real-life NASCAR Cup Series, as well as many other series on the NASCAR ladder. iRacing also features team racing, providing a variety of options for members to create and manage their own teams. Race with friends or real-world teammates in full-length endurance events like the 24 Hours of Daytona, Spa 24, or the Bathurst 12 Hour. Additional partners include IMSA, World of Outlaws, Supercars, and IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own Indianapolis 500, Bathurst 1000, Chili Bowl, and many more iconic events. This is iRacing, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car. Sign up today at iRacing.com.
Welcome in here, race fans. You see down below us, that is the South Boston Speedway. Here in South Boston, Virginia, this racetrack opened back in 1958, and well, it's still in operation here today. Last year they didn't race in real life here at the South Boston Speedway, but this year they're back better than ever. And of course, here on iRacing, the racing has never stopped. And this time, it's the first time the Checkered Flag Auto Supply Short Track Scrambler Series for Red Light Racing has made its way here to the South Boston Speedway with, for the first time ever, well, iRacing calls them the Monte Carlo SS cars. We call them, they're just regular late model stock machines here tonight. But this track, well, it's a little under a half-mile raceway here. The turns, well, 12 degrees of banking. Same for turns 1 through 4 here tonight. The straightaways, though, it's only 10 degrees of banking. So you say only, well, all the wrecks here tonight, if we were to have some, they're going to be big because there's not much room on the straightaways and everything funnels downward because of the banking. We've had 2 races in the books this season. We had the Jiffy Lube 100 at the Las Vegas Bull Ring. Then we had the Six Rings Racing 100 at Stafford. Well, Dalton won the opening round, and AJ won round number 2. That puts them in a virtual tie here tonight, coming into the 3rd race of the season. And, well, that means we're going to have to run this race here tonight to figure out who's going to have the points championship lead leaving here. So let's get things kicked up and fired up here tonight with your Six Rings Racing starting lineup here. And starting on the front row, we have car number 2, the driver out of the Rev Esports Group. That's Michael Trevarthen. His outside, Ricky Canada in the 989 machine. That's Canada's own Scott Duncan. Making his first start here of the season out of South Carolina, driving car number 86. That's James Skelton. Dalton Williamson tied for your points championship lead. He'll start over into the 4th starting spot here tonight. And starting 5th, it's the driver of the 05. That is going to be Rex Hoyle. Back into the 6th position, Shanika Single in car number 11 will start 6th, while Mr. Confusion's confused where he is here tonight. He also comes in tied for that points lead. That's the 18 of A.J. Hamill. Back into the 8th position here tonight, driving the number 13, the Granny Hips Walkers and Canes entry. That's Joshua Buckley. And back there, starting into the 9th spot, the Culpeppers Bakery and Cafe, number 5 of Brian Bianchi. Back into the 10th spot, he just picked up a win this past season, his first feature win. That's car number 38 of Brandon Feeney. Eric Stout making his start here in the Six Rings Racing number 6. He'll start 11th. And Rob Higgins in car number 40 will start back into the 12th position here tonight. That's your top 12, starting back into the 13th spot out of, well, Western New York. Well, originated. That's the number 73, Gilfilly Edwards. Dan the Man, the Store Magnet Butler. And car number 21 will go from the 14th starting spot, while Dave Bragg will roll his Jiffy Lube entry from P number 15. Rob Haynes back in action here in the number 25. He'll start back into the 16th spot. Dan Murphy Jr. in 17th. 18th starting spot here tonight on the call will go to the driver of car number 9. That's Trey Mitz. And back into the 19th starting spot. That will be Aiden Alvecchione. 20th will go to Doyle Lowrance in car number 7. Mark Jenkins back into the 21st spot. Darrell Clauder back there in P number 22. 23rd is going to be A.J. Watkins, and shotgun to the field here tonight. The final starter, the checkered flag, auto supply number 30. That is Bob Higgins. That's your starting lineup brought to us by our friends over at Six Rings Racing. That means there's one thing left to do, and that is to light the fire here tonight at the South Boston Speedway. 100 laps to round number 3, and we're racing. Great start by the inside row there. That number 2, Trevarthen, one car into the outside wall, up over, going to go to the 86 of James Skelton. And that's going to take a couple cars along with them. There you see the number 13 of Joshua Buckley is involved. I saw the number 1 was involved. Brian Bianchi, car number 5, pulling away. So a very rough start here on the opening lap here at the South Boston Speedway. Take the look back here and figure out what happened. We know the 86 of James Skelton involved in this one. Let's take the look. There you see the 86 down on the inside. There you see the number 1 machine. That is Dalton Williamson. Williamson, ooh, little contact to the right rear. And Skelton going to go up over. There is Rob Higgins. He was involved. Hey, now Vecchione, he actually gets slowed up. Brian Bianchi was involved. Let's see if we can ride on board here. Buckley down just a slight tad, just trying to miss the wreck, and Bianchi nowhere to go in his machine. Joshua Buckley ends up turning around also over here in turns number 4. Unfortunate way to start this one out here tonight at the South Boston Speedway, so caution on lap number 1. There is your race leader. He has led the entire way so far. All 3 laps, believe that one or not. And drivers that were involved, if you were wondering, they were Brian Bianchi, James Skelton, Joshua Buckley, Dan Murphy Jr. are the cars that all had at least some quarter panels caved in on their late model stock entries here tonight. So we're going to re-rack them, restack them. A couple drivers did pick up quite a few positions there because that wreck did start towards the front of the field with James Skelton and Dalton Williamson. We're going to fire these bad boys back off here when we come back into the restart zone here tonight. Just a handful of laps in the books here. Put 5 in the books. See if we get one completed under green. Green flying back into the air. Everybody will chase that number 2 to turn number 1. Great start once again by Michael Trevarthen. He's trying to lead the first official lap to green, and he will. Lap number 1 will go to the driver of car number 2. The battle, though, will be on between 2 veterans here. 2 veterans on the iRacing.com platform. That is the 05 Gauntlet Tire and Service Center of Rex Hoyle. To the outside, the number 18, the Arts Barbershop entry, Mr. Confusion of A.J. Hamill. Hamill came in tied with the points lead here with Dalton Williamson tonight. Oh, loose moment there by Shanika Single in the Cartoon Network Radio Shack entry. He was able to gather it up, but that car, I think, might have an old stripe on the right-hand side. Now, as it pans through our camera sight here, it looks actually pretty darn good. So that yellow and blue machine still holding on. And how about A.J. Hamill? Able to take the Arts Barbershop, empty the tank, Orca Coolers entry around the outside there, so Confusion. Project Confusion working pretty good on the high side, so now he'll funnel into that 3rd spot. Now look at Shanika Single. He is to the outside. Well, that's because, well, here comes number 1, Dalton Williamson. Williamson will take the inside advantage here. He'll take that spot. Now that'll bump Sean Single back to running into the 6th spot where he started tonight. Brandon Feeney just behind him in the number 38. Of course, Feeney running a limited schedule up there in Canada with his machine painted up just like that. Well, guess what? He took it to victory lane last week, picked up a heat race win, and then he picked up his first feature win of the season. Congratulations to Brandon Feeney. And oh, trouble towards the back of the field here. It looks like Brian Bianchi and the Culpeper's Bakery Cafe entry going around. Aiden Alvecchione also involved in this one. There you see the number 5 of Bianchi rolling away very slowly. Rear end, a lot of rear end damage, hard contact, I'm guessing, to the inside retaining wall. Let's see what happened here. Both these drivers were running right around the 16th, 17th position. Bianchi down to the inside. He'll make contact with Aiden Alvecchione, and damage was already done to the number 5 with Bianchi, and then him and Aiden just making a little contact. See Aiden having to straighten out that number 271, and I don't believe he'll go a lap down, so that's good. That he at least stays on the lead lap here tonight. Watch here from on board the deck lid with Aiden Alvecchione. Just the slightest bit of contact turns the 271 around, and that is what brings out our second caution flag of the evening. So with the second caution flag out, one driver has officially retired here tonight from this race, and that's going to be the 86 of James Skelton, who was making his first start of the season. So unfortunately, Skelton will get last place points here tonight, which is 24th position on the running order. Biggest mover through the field here is the number 41 of Dan Murphy Jr. And Murphy, of course, because of his work schedule, has to run a, well, call it a short and partial schedule, part-time runner here with our series. He's back here tonight. He was wrapped up in that turn number 4 first lap wreck, unfortunately, but he is here, and he has actually picked up the most spots since then, so Murphy sitting there into the 12th position. Should see the 1 to go marker this time by when we flash by the flag stand, and actually it's looking like Aiden Alvecchione was repositioned. Should be able to drive around the pace car here as the lights do go out. Right now it seems like our officials are holding the 271 there. We'll see if that does shake out here before we go back green flag racing. Either way, it'll be Michael Trevarth and Scott Duncan, your top 2 runners here at the South Boston Speedway. As the pace car is in, and we're ready to roll. Back green flag, it's in the air. Here we go. Alvecchione's going to pull the gentleman's agreement move, and he's just going to go straight to the outside and let everybody funnel around the inside of him. 2 orange cars battling. Oh, 1 car sideways. It's the JL Audio entry. Oh, the California driver of Rob Haynes, who doesn't get to run a full-time schedule because of his work traveling schedule, wrapped up hard against the outside retaining wall. And he's also got A.J. Watkins there, and I think Brian Bianchi may have got a little piece of that one also. Drivers coming immediately to pit road. Lots and lots of damage to their machines. Take a look here. Trey Mitz in the Rent-A-Girlfriend number 9, right into the back of the 25H. Oh, and Watkins nowhere to go. Bianchi was right there also. I think that was the 7 of Doyle Lowrance, also getting a little damage. Right on board here with A.J. Watkins. Hear him on the brakes, and fortunately nowhere to go. And the caution lights come out all around the speedway. So drivers wrapped up in that one: Rob Haynes, A.J. Watkins, Brian Bianchi, and Trey Mitz. So those drivers all getting a little piece of this one. A little bit of a rough start here tonight from the South Boston Speedway. We told you it is a small track, and well, if one car gets wrapped up, Everybody seems to have a little piece of the wreck when it happens. Working our third caution flag here tonight on lap number 22 as we pace around the South Boston Speedway. Where are some of your favorite drivers running right now? Well, let's tell you where they are. Here is the number 99 of Mark Jenkins. He's back here. This is his home track here this season on the Short Track Scrambler Series. The 99 driver out of Richmond, Virginia, just up the road. Well, Mark Jenkins, he's doing just fine if you're a Mark Jenkins fan. He is up, sitting in the 14th position. So he's doing pretty darn good here tonight. Well, where's another one of them? How about the driver out of Florida? There you see it, the Quiet Foot Gaming 00 of Darrell Clauter. He's back here, running into the 15th position. Just behind him, well, he said he had no speed in practice. Couldn't figure it out, but I said, what would you do for a Klondike bar? He said, I'd like to finish this race and have some speed. Well, Doyle Lowrance at 4 positions. He's running into the 16th spot here as we start to double the cars up. This time by, we're dropping back to green conditions here. The 23 laps officially in the books here as they come off turn number 4. The iRacing.com safety car is in. The green flag is in the hand of Barney. He's waving it around. Good start there again by the front row. Michael Trevarthen, your race leader. He has had it kind of on lockdown all night long. A.J. Hamill now battling into that second position, trying to get the inside momentum to work on the Arts Barbershop 18. He looks to clear that number 989 of Scott Duncan. So Duncan back in position. Here comes, though, the HendricksCars.com number 1 entry. That's going to be Dalton Williamson, the Tampa, Florida driver. Tied for the points championship lead with that 18. Has to keep pace with them here on these restarts. Still, obviously, a very long way to go here tonight at the South Boston Speedway. Caution lights on. I believe the 73 of Philly Edwards will be the cause of the caution flag here to bring our 4th caution flag out. What happened to the 73 of Philly Edwards is going to be a conversation of topic here for a moment. And you see the 73 down to the inside. Oh, that car looked like it got tight right up into the door panel there of the 99 of Mark Jenkins. And Barney the flagman says, put it out. Put it out, the caution lights. Watch this one coming right at us here from the flag stand. Save it, save it. Oh, no. Couldn't quite do it. So possibly call that a 2-car, little bit of an incident here to bring out that 4th caution flag of the evening. A lot of famous people have raced here in the real world here at the South Boston Speedway. Todd Bodine, of course, here's somebody that's, well, newer if you're a NASCAR Whelen Modified Tour. Tommy Catalino right now holds the track record here. Late model stock, though, Peyton Sellers is the driver that holds that one. He is a multiple-time champion here in the real side of things, sort of like the driver that's sitting currently here on this restart. It'll be the 3rd place driver, the number 1 of Dalton Williamson. He is a 2-time SK Modified Series champion and a 1-time Tour Modified Series champion. This season, though, it's something he likes short track racing, that is for sure. We know he's a short track racer here in iRacing and, of course, down in real life when he gets the chance, if he's not just hanging out at the track tinkering with some cars. Well, he dabbles in getting behind the wheel himself. But here this season, he's going to be, well, challenged with everything from a street stock to a super late model to a Legends to an SK Modified. Right here to these late model stock entries. But it does look like the iRacing.com safety car lights are out. Yes, they are. So with 31 laps about to be put into the books here tonight, we're getting ready to go back racing. Billy Edwards not getting the number 73 brought back out onto the racetrack, so we'll go without him here. Green flag is in the air. That time, a little bit better start by the 2nd place driver, but not going to be good enough to contend for the race lead. Here comes Michael Trevarthen. Here comes Dalton Williamson. He'll have the second position. A.J. Hamill relegated to the outside lane here at the South Boston Speedway right now. And, well, we've seen him make a pass or two on the outside with that Ford Mustang. Can he keep it wound up, though, and get back around that number 1 of Williamson? He will not sell the big wiggle that time off turn number 4. So he'll now go back into the third position. Sean Single is sitting back there into P number 4. Everybody, one person has gone single file here. And now that I say it, they go single file. It was the Dave Bragg entry and the number 41 of Dan Murphy Jr. Both those drivers trying to work themselves closer into the top 10 here. Everybody trying to follow the 99, the X-side entry of Mark Jenkins. Jenkins is your only driver that has picked up multiple spots here tonight. Double-digit spots, to be exact. Started back in 21st, running in the 11th position right now for the driver out of Richmond, Virginia. Last driver on the lead lap here tonight, Aiden Alvecchione, is the final driver on the lead lap. The Rent-A-Girlfriend, number 9, of Trey Mitz, is back there running into the 19th position. Multiple laps down currently here to the race leaders, and that's the battle for the race lead. The number 2 of Michael Trevarthen has the number 1 of Dalton Williamson, his team car, all up underneath the back end of that machine. And then they're bringing A.J. Hamill around. Sean Single, Scott Duncan is your top 5 here as we're working lap number 39 here. The best lap of the evening, that's lap number 39. A little bit of a tight entry there for the number 2 of Michael Trevarthen that time. Everybody comes screaming by our flag stand here. Sean Single a little bit out of the groove that time, out of turn number 2. Duncan wasn't close enough, though, to really do anything with it as we ride on board with the 5th place car, Scott Duncan. The rookie this year having himself a stellar first couple of races this season. Everybody knows he has been here at least a time or 2. That's because, well, he's having himself a heck of a season. You think about it, the first time he comes out here with these drivers, he gets at the Las Vegas Bull Ring. He finishes into the 9th spot. Then last week at Stafford with the SK Modified, he finishes 5th, and here he finds himself now once again up inside the top 5. Hasn't been able to lead any laps this season, but he has been there. They know him. They can see the car. They're getting familiar with him. The wins are going to start coming, I have a feeling, here for the number 989 of Scott Duncan. Right now, though, he does trail that Cartoon Network number 11, and look how close Sean Single is getting to the bumper of the Arts Barbershop number 18. Oh, that accordion effect when we come short track racing. It is a real thing, that is for sure. You see him as they work off of corner number 4 there, back across the flag stripe. We've seen Williamson apply the pressure to Michael Trevarthen, but we have not seen him attempt to make the move. A.J. Hamill, a big moment that time. It's going to stack Sean Single up. Here comes Duncan. Duncan's going to try and use the inside apron just a little bit. See if he can get a run. He will not. He'll have to now defend off that 0-5 of Rex Hoyle. He has now joined the party. Hoyle pulling the other part of this train, which was the second train. Problems back here. It's the 21 of Dan Butler. The Storm has found the magnet. Dan Butler's number 21 pretty tore up here. This would be the 5th caution flag here before the halfway point tonight. There you see Dan Butler's number 21 rolling away very slowly here. The driver out of Southbridge, Massachusetts. I believe Dave Bragg may have been the other car we saw involved in this one. They're battling just outside the top 10. See the Jiffy Lube Autism Speaks entry. Right into the door of the number 21, and unfortunately they both got together. And everybody having to see how they can get back to pit road and what the damage will be like. Looked like they were going to be A-okay, and then that second bump is what really got Butler all out of shape and down to the inside retaining wall. So Dan Butler and Dave Bragg both having to go to pit road. There's your lucky dog recipient, the Rent-A-Girlfriend driver out of Atlanta. Trey Mitz, the driver that will take the lucky dog. There's the race leader. This time by, we'll put 50 laps officially in the books here tonight. They've all been led by Michael Trevarthen in that number 2 machine, qualified on the front row, took the pole. Trevarthen comes in a tie here tonight for officially the 3rd place in our championship standings. He was tied with Brandon Wynn. Of course, Wynn not here tonight, unfortunately, not able to quite make the call to the show. So he's going to tumble through the standings a little bit because it's still early, though. Everybody really close in the points championship standing. So Wynn's going to fall through the standings a little bit. Michael Trevarthen trying to, though, lead the most laps, pick up a win. That'll be the most bonus points. That's the way he can take the points championship lead because he's got the other 2 championship contenders hot on the heels tonight. Lights are out. That means we're ready to fire these bad boys back off here. Trevarthen and Williamson this time. First time they will do the jig on the front row together. It'll be 52 laps completed here tonight at the South Boston Speedway as the green flag is pending. A great start by Michael Trevarthen. Not so much of a good start by A.J. Hamill. Sleeping a little bit on that restart, but here comes Williamson. He's going to try for the race lead on the outside. He's got a nose ahead, but let's see if he can hold the momentum. He does. New race leader, car number 1, Dalton Williamson, to the point here at South Boston Speedway after getting back to the outside and back to the start-finish line first. Well, there you see the battle now for that 5th spot. Rex Hoyle trying to hold off. He'll go to the outside. He makes the pass. Hoyle back into the top 5 since that's where he started here tonight. He has been back in the top 5 since, well, lap number 1. Jenkins making the outside work for himself also there on that restart. He picked up a spot. Higgins saw it. Now Higgins is trying to work to the outside also. The Berlin City Ford not quite able to get around Dan Murphy Jr. There's Darrell Clauter. The Quiet Feet Gaming entry. Just sitting back there, back into the 12th spot. He's having himself a good run here. Eric Stout's right there also. His first race of the season. There's another one of those drivers out of the Virginia gang. And how about it? The little engine that could here tonight has not given up. It's the 271 of Aiden Alvecchio. There he is, race fans. Got wrapped up in the wreck, went a lap down. Now he's back here running into the 14th spot on the lead lap. With all these cautions, he is loving what he's seeing. He's able to pick up those spots here tonight after what we thought was going to be a rough one. Rough one out front. That is not for the number 1 of Williamson. Williamson was wrapped up in that lap number 1 wreck, but ever since then, he's been able to work his way methodically back through the field. He is the race leader here with just 40 laps to go when we come by this time. So it'll be 40 laps to go for that number 1 of Williamson as he crosses the stripe. Contact Jenkins and Feeney into each other on the front straightaway. Feeney a little bit slow. Jenkins now under pressure. Both drivers, oh, Murphy and Feeney, and now Clauter nowhere to go. Feeney will wind up on the lid, unfortunately. Darrell Clauter's motor going to expire on the Quiet Feet Gaming 00. The driver out of Florida. Nowhere to go, wrapped up into that one. That was a wreck that started before a wreck. This one started right here. Jenkins just wasn't quite clear. Gets into the 38, and then Feeney going to lose some positions here. There's the 41. And they get locked together on the exit of 2, and Darrell Clauter just absolutely nowhere to go for the 00. Riding on board with Darryl Clauter in the 00. Just when you thought it was good to get back to the throttle, not quite. Feeney up on the lid. So now it'll be a whole new ball game once again because, well, what happened to the second place car that was out there? There he is. He came to pit road. Michael Trevarthen came down pit road and gave up the second place. He's got fresh tires, though, on the right-hand side of car number 2. We'll see if that will play a factor here in the closing laps here tonight. Working our 6th caution flag of the evening here tonight at the South Boston Speedway. And, well, we got to thank Bob Higgins for everything he does for the series. Of course, Checkered Flag Auto Supply located up there in Ayer, Massachusetts. If you ever stop in, you're going to see that man right there behind the counter. He'll be able to get you everything and anything you need to keep your car or tow rig on the road to head it down to the racetracks. And this racetrack's about to hear the fire-breathing engines. Eric Stout to pit road. Green back up. A little bit of a sluggish start once again for the 18, having some problems on those restarts. Looks like he'll be able, though, to get back down to the bottom ahead of that Cartoon Network number 11 machine, with everybody chasing number 1 of Dalton Williamson. Williamson is your race leader here. Williamson trying to run away. Aidan Alvecchione trying to move into the top 10. That's where he's at now after he got around the number 30 of Bob Higgins. Aidan Alvecchione back into the top 10 here tonight. Michael Trevarthen trying to work his way through the field, but really has to be patient now. He's got the fresh tires, but you don't want to burn them off, but you got to get going. Haven't seen a lot of drivers make the bull bump and run work here tonight. Right on board. The BK Paints onboard camera here tonight. You see it, Trevarthen just trying to get the run. Not quite able to get it, though. Race leader of Dalton Williamson, though, in lap traffic here. That'll be the number 31. Whew. That was a close one for A.J. Hamill, along with the number 31 of Dave Bragg. Bragg, of course, back out there trying to get as many points as he can with that number 31. There you see the Jiffy Lube entry. He's got a couple cars that are on pit road out of this event here, and he needs to pick up about 10 more laps, and he can jump almost up inside, I believe it would be possibly the 14th position he could snag if he can keep that number 31 Jiffy Lube entry out there and rolling around the speedway. Hayden now getting pressure by the number 7 in the battle. Talked about Michael Trevarthen just having to try and be patient here and work his way. He just got past the number 40 of Rob Higgins. Now he'll set his sights upon the number 13 of Joshua Buckley. Buckley is being wrapped up in that caution. Haven't heard much from him. Eric Stout looks like he's going to return car number 6 to the racetrack. Here comes now that number 2, looking to the inside of the Checkered Flag Auto Supply number 13, the Granny Hips Walkers and Canes entry. Let's see how many tennis balls are left on that walker. Not very many. Joshua Buckley says you can just go ahead and have the spot, Trevarthen. So Trevarthen Picking up another one here in his march back to the front with just 24 laps to go. 23 as they cross the line. There's your battle for second, Sean Single. He's got George Jetson riding a shotgun with him here tonight. He's got Radio Shack. How many race fans actually remember Radio Shack out there? I only remember Radio Shack because that's where I used to go get my CDs back in the 90s so I can burn some CDs. They also had cassettes if you're a little bit older. Heard Radio Shack actually is making a comeback. Haven't quite seen any of them yet. I think they're an online retailer now. Rex Hoyle been very, very silent here tonight, running back and forth. Remember, we talked about him getting into the top 5. Now he's up into 4th. We've talked about Jenkins. And we've talked about Duncan. Duncan's to the outside right now because here comes Michael Trevarthen. He's trying to get back into the top 5. Maybe a little contact there with 20 laps to go. So Duncan will go back to running into the 7th. Trevarthen up into 6th here now. Everybody's spreading out. The 271 of Aiden Avicchione still under attack from the Klondike Bar entry. Of course, that's the Raven Graphics painter, Doyle Lowrance. Aiden, I'm surprised with all the damage on the 271, how he is really able to hang on to the outside there. You also got Bob Higgins. These drivers, they can't mess around too much because they still have Bob Higgins back there. A little slip up and Bob would be able to make a pass too. This is for the 10th position right now with 16 laps to go. Watching the best battle on the racetrack. As the battle will simmer down and it will go to the 7 of Lowrance here. With just 15 laps to go. The Michael Trevarthen entry now up into 5th. Got around Mark Jenkins as one driver. It's the 25, the JL Audio number 25. Of Rob Haynes having some problems there. Just trying to stay up out of the way. So Haynes trying to stay out of the way and let these drivers have their own battle. 13 to go. Williamson has the biggest race lead we've seen all night long here tonight at South Boston Speedway. The battle still is for those final podium positions right now. The 18 of A.J. Hamill has that second spot, but Sean Single has been there. He's taken a couple peaks. Just hasn't been able to do anything with it. Here's the 40 of Rob Higgins, Joshua Buckley. This is for 8th and 9th on our running order. Some bragging rights here between these two drivers. Buckley is not going to roll over and give it to that number 40. That is for sure. Buckley, of course, running with some broken, malfunctioning equipment on his sim rig. His steering wheel not having full... Oh, I thought there was going to be some contact there. Well, there is not full, next to none in the force feedback category for car number 13 as his Logitech wheel braking. Makes the pass, though, holds him off at least for the time being with 9 to go. It'll be 8 to go this time by. There's that number 1 looking to try and pick up his second win of the season. Won the season opener. Back at the bull ring. Another small little bull ring here at the South Boston Speedway tonight. As he's trying to do it. It'll be 7 to go at the line. Michael Trevarthen has caught Rex Hoyle. But now that he's inside the top 5, how hard will it be for him to get past and try and go for the win here? It'll just be 6 to go as they flash out of turn number 4. Williamson still with a 1.6 second race lead now. A.J. Hamill would really like to stay in this 5th or the 2nd position to get those points as there's just 5 to go. We're waving at them all with 5 fingers into the air here tonight. As Sean Single start to get impatient on the back bumper of the 18. Four to go that time by at the line. Williamson almost opened up to a 2-second gap now over the drivers that are back here. See the old 3 laps to go this time. 3 to go at South Boston. Keeping our eye on this, but Williamson will be into lap traffic as there you see the 25H to the outside going lap down. Wind them up, show them. It'll be the popsicle sticks here at South Boston, which is 2 laps to go here in the Sobo 100. Here for the Checkered Flag Auto Supply Short Track Scrambler Series. Setting a blistering pace here, trying to come off of turn number 4 to see the Culpeppers Bakery Cafe white flag. He will. It'll be the final lap here tonight, presented by Culpeppers Bakery and Cafe. Williamson taking the race lead around the halfway point and then just setting a blistering pace here. He'll come out of turn 4 for the final time. Your winner here tonight at South Boston. It will go to the number 1 of Williamson. It'll be A.J. Hamill, Sean Single finishing 2nd and 3rd. Rex Hoyle, Michael Trevarthen, Mark Jenkins coming all the way to the front of the field here, picking up the most spots. He'll finish in 6th. Duncan, Buckley, Higgins, and Lowrance. Look at that. Doyle Lowrance picking up a top 10. There's your winner, though. He'll pick up his 2nd win of the season. As he'll burn it down here tonight for all the race fans out there tuning in virtually. Coming up next, of course, will be our Holy Shirts and Pants post-race show with your top 3 drivers here tonight. You got Williamson, Hamill, and Single on the hook here. Williamson gonna go ahead and try and do a little jig. For the race fans that are out there, don't go anywhere. We'll be back here at the South Boston Speedway with the Holy Shirts and Pants post-race show.
Simulated racing can be awesome, but it can also be kind of a free-for-all. Interestingly, auto racing faced the same problem in its earlier days. Whether it was on the back roads, the beaches, or the city streets, the racing was always fun. But there was always a certain level of chaos or danger, until some folks came along and put some order to all of this. Stuff like official racetracks, regulations about weight and equipment, and enforcement of standards. That's what gave us high-speed excitement, fast-paced action, and photo finishes. That's when racing became racing. The guys over at iRacing.com have made the same transformation in the world of sim racing. See, iRacing analyzes the performance and results of each driver in every race, so you can be sure you're always placed in races where the competition will be tight and that those reckless drivers who ruin it for us all will be kept in the pits. Not to mention that with members in over 130 countries already in their vast community, you can find races day and night, so you can always get in the action. You can even join a league of your favorite series and work your way up to one of 7 world championships, offering over $500,000 in prize money. And since updates are always automatic, you don't have to worry about software and can focus on the track. Zip up your fire suit and check out iRacing.com.
Welcome back here to the South Boston Speedway race fans. Round number 3 for the Checkered Flag Auto Supply Short Track Scrambler Series for the Red Light Racing Group. And boy, did South Boston live up to its title. One of the smallest, one of the tightest, one of the most aggressive racetracks we will see all season long. But hey, you know what's up next? It's the Holy Shirts and Pants post-race show. All these drivers, of course, getting a holy shirt. And, well, the race winner already has some holy pants from the last time he was in victory lane. So let's go down trackside here tonight and talk to your top 3 finishers after 100 laps. And how about it, this 2-time winner of the Tour, Dalton, back in victory lane here. And now you will officially snag the points championship lead.
You know, Roger, I kind of came in the same way I normally do. I rode behind Mike or whoever was out front. When I don't qualify up front, just saved and waited to attack, and I got that restart and took it on the outside, and that was that.
We saw some drivers go to the outside. You just alluded to it. Was the outside there at all tonight, or was it just on a handful of those restarts where you're able to jump up there and snag a spot or two?
It was there, but not how it normally is at South Boston. It was kind of surprising. It worked for the first, 4 or 5 laps, but after that, it wasn't really there anymore.
Yeah, it's not there. But the end of this race, it looked like you were, well, starting to really roll away with this one. Were you worried that a late race caution, after you've seen how many early cautions we had here tonight, might have come out?
Yeah, especially when I'm pretty sure I caused the first one. I don't know. I want to apologize to Skelton. But yeah, I was definitely worried about that there. I was hoping there wasn't going to be any yellows there at the end.
Well, you didn't have a yellow. You had a great car here tonight. You picked up the win. What do you think now? Well, now we're going to a new car. Now you've shown that you were able to win in the, well, 2 of the cars that we've never raced before here on Thursday night. The Legends car back at the Bull Ring, and then you were able to pick up the win here tonight in what I would consider more of a late model stockish style machine here on iRacing. What do you think, though? Langley and a street stock.
Well, my record at Langley is pretty good in this series, but street stock not so much. I'm looking forward to the following week, Raj. You know me. I'm looking forward to 5 Flags and the Super. So
already looking ahead to that race. I see how it is, but hey, you're in victory lane here tonight, so the red carpet rolls out and the microphone becomes yours.
First and foremost, I want to thank you in Turn 3 for broadcasting, Rob, Josh, and all the admin here. As far as sponsors, Reb Esports, Platinum RV Services, Nitro Racing, BBR, and Mike for all the practice he did this week.
There you hear it. Your winner tonight, Dalton Williamson, picking up the big W here in round number 3. He'll take the points championship lead and head to the Langley Speedway next week. Finishing into that second spot, you had your mirror full. How about it, Mr. Confusion? Did you know you were not the race leader at the end?
There was other cars on the track?
A couple.
Oh, all right. I'll just do my own thing. I got a secret for you, Roger. I don't know if you're aware of this. Dalton is good at driving race cars.
I've
I've
never heard that.
Right? It's like he's going to show up and be good every week. And that's, a challenge for the rest of us. But I know I let the cat out of the bag there to all the viewers.
Yeah, that's something I don't think anybody knew.
All right, back to you. What are we talking about?
Well, we're talking about tonight's race here because you had your mirror full.
You
had him right there.
I did. Yeah, this is not my favorite track ever on this service. I just was hoping to get some track position and hold on to it, which got lucky again and was able to skip through the first yellow and grab a spot on a restart and have a guy pit. Just try to stay as clean as I can. And I know Sean's back there. I know Rex was back there. And I know Mike had some right sides or 4. Who knows how many tires he had. Was pushing Rex, but all you can do is hold on to your track position until they get a fender inside you and just pray for the best. Some nights it's not about how good you are, just where you come across that finish line.
You came across here tonight in second. Did you want to see a late race restart that may have put you onto the outside for one final shot at the one machine?
No. Some cars maybe, but I couldn't roll off the front row. I tried it once with Mike early on, and I don't know if I should have started in first gear or what was going on, but I did not get a good boost when I was on the front row on the outside. So I was happy to just run it out and cross my fingers that Sean was going to be nice and look for a lane or take what he was given to him. But can't complain with a first loser position at South Boston.
Well, then what about Langley next week? Street stocks. I don't think I've ever seen the 18 run a street stock.
It has happened. Not my favorite car, but I don't mind Langley. I've been there most recently. You were there. We won't talk about that in any more detail. In a different car, different series. But I like Langley, and I don't mind the street stock. I think I'll be okay. It'll be another try to get some track position and hang on. I've got a teammate who's really good at street stock, so I might pick his brain a little bit, see if we can get another podium to add to the pile.
Well, you got one here tonight. A great night for you, AJ, and the whole crew who makes this all possible on the side of this confusion. I'm already confused talking about it.
You mean that Ford Mustang?
Gross.
Let's see. Primary on this one is once again Arts Barbershop. Hi, Mom and Dad watching at home. Project Confusion. What did I call that thing? Project Confusion, which you'll see featured on the street stock next week in my first other paint scheme that's not arts based. And yeah, that's who's on the side of the car right there.
There you hear
But
it.
if we got to thank some people. Do we got a race sponsor, Roger?
No.
For this particular event? Okay, well, then thanks Red Light and Checkered Flag Auto Supply and Turn 3 and Roger and Josh and Eric and Rob Higgins, who had a sweet throwback Northeast Asphalt Legend paint scheme that I know you didn't recognize, but it's pretty cool.
Not at all, but there you hear it. AJ Hamill Race Fans, your second
Yeah, some of your viewers will.
He's confusing me. He's confusing you. He's confused himself. AJ Hamill will finish P number 2. He didn't even know there was other cars out there tonight. But hey, how about the man that finishes back there in the 3rd position, Sean? A great night for you, picking up 3 spots after you said before qualifying, I don't know how to run this track anymore.
Yeah, feel pretty good about it. It's good to get back up in the booth. You know, I think I probably should have had a couple 3rd, maybe 2nd place finishes in the last 2 races, so it's good to be back up here.
Back here, we'll now pad the point standings that you really needed some help to get, maybe back inside the top 5. You were just hovering on the outside there, and now it should put you about the 4th position. How does it feel to know that you now got the momentum rolling back onto your side after this one?
Feels good. The Cartoon Network Street, or whatever the hell this thing is, what is it, late model? Great car tonight, rolled really well through the center. I kept getting into AJ a little bit, but wasn't trying to spin him. And next week we're using the street stocks. It's one of my favorite on the service, so super excited to be moving into next week.
Talking about moving, were you thinking about moving that 18 at all? I know it's big, wide in front of you.
I was telling him before the broadcast, before we got into the interview, I was thinking about it, but we were pushing for 2nd place, and I know we've had our run-ins before, so I figured we'd keep it civil here, and usually it was always me on the end of giving those run-ins, so figured I'd turn a new leaf and try and play nice with AJ from now on.
So what you're saying is you're willing to share your ball.
Yeah, I mean, I was looking for ways to get around him. It's just this track is so tight. I try to make a crazy dive to the bottom with the sprint out, but he had the momentum, and I didn't want to dive under him. I tried it once, and I knew it wasn't going to fit, so I backed out of it.
So the points night for you looking pretty good headed into next week. And, well, what do you think, though? We got some pretty good races here upcoming. We already talked about we're going to Langley with the street stock, and we got the super late model at 5 Flags. Then we head to a track we've only, I believe, ever been to one time. We head to Concord for the Project Confusion night with the SK Modified.
Yeah, looking forward to those races. One of those I'll be at Dover Motor Speedway saying hi to Miles the Monster, so I'm unfortunately going to have to miss that race.
So all I just heard is I'm driving by Roger's house, and I'll see him then. I got it. I'll put some beer in the fridge.
Very good. I'll see you Wednesday night.
Well, before we let you get ready to drive those street stocks next week here, Sean, who do you got to thank on the side of the car? That's not George Jensen.
I got to thank Mom and Dad at home. They're always watching these races. I appreciate their support. I got to thank Cam for sponsoring for the Holy Shirts and Pants. I don't even think he knows that he's sponsoring, but I've been stealing his money. And BK Paints, he makes great paints. I need to get a hold of him to start making some of these short track stuff for me. And obviously you with Turn 3, setting up the broadcast and all the admins, Josh, Eric, and Rob, putting this all together.
There you heard it. Sean pays for all of his iRacing stuff for money that falls out of those Holy Shirts and Pants here tonight. He'll round down our podium spots. 5th will go to Rex Hoyle. Michael Trevarthen will finish back there into that 5th spot after trying to rally back late here after, getting himself into a little bit of a hornet's nest by dropping to the back of the field there by going to pit road. Well, a little bit of a rough one here at the South Boston Speedway, but we got it in. 100 laps, your scheduled distance here from South Boston. We did it here tonight. Now, next week on September the 15th, we do head to the Langley Speedway for the first time ever with the street stock, and that one I think you're going to enjoy, race fans, on September the 15th. So mark your calendars next Thursday night when the Checkered Flag Auto Supply Short Track Scrambler Series gets back onto the air here. We will head to Langley, and that's going to be a good one. But that's about it here here from the South Boston Speedway. Dalton Williamson picking up his second win of the season with AJ Hamill, Sean Single in tow. But for everybody at the Checkered Flag Auto Supply and everybody with Red Light Racing, my name is Roger Muse with the Turn 3 Racing Network. We hope you enjoyed tonight's show here from the South Boston Speedway. And until we see you next time, race fans, everybody stay safe, and we'll see you in Turn 3.